Sony handheld, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how this shit should be. First of all, it's the PlayStation Switch. I'm not taking questions. Next, anyway, um, this shit has a lot of potential to really be a good handheld if it is a handheld, and I would hope that you can take it on the go. But then it's probably going to do that Switch thing where it's like you have to be connected to Wi-Fi, so or you have to be connected to your PlayStation. I've heard that too. Like, I don't want to be connected to my PlayStation. I want to have my You mean to tell me in order to play this shit, I gotta have my PS5 on and this shit? Nah, scrap that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's dumb. Let it be a handheld, cause y'all. Yeah, but they're saying leaving your PlayStation on rest mode is bad for the PlayStation, though. Okay. Like, they're saying if you leave your PlayStation 5 in rest mode, they're saying it's like it's bad for it. And all these fucking games that are coming out that I'm like, yo, this would be perfect on the Switch, or this would be perfect on that. This handheld could be the answer to that. And plus, with like all the first of all, and even still, like Sony, they have gotta be self aware, right? Because the PSP, that was the golden age for them handheld wise. Like, and I want, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I mean, you could enhance it, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I had mine enhanced. You know, I played. That's how I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time. I played it through that, and I don't feel bad because once I spend my money on something, you can't tell me what to do with it. I gave you your profits, I gave you your metrics, your money, all of that. Don't tell me what to do with your product once I buy it. And even if they wanted to, because like now with the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, the Asus PC handheld, and now with this and like the Switch, and now Microsoft might make a fucking handheld. It's like, nah, we're going back to the handheld wars. Like, we're going back to the handheld wars. It's gonna be the four nations until the Fire Nation attacked, and I'm just really I'm intrigued by this Sony handheld. I am. I want it to be good, and I would also like it to be able to play your games on the go. I would hate it to be strictly connected to the PS5 in some way. Cuz then you're going to lose out on a lot of hype. Oh, that's true. And they're going to make you fucking buy the extended memory too. Cuz they do that now. Cuz they do that now. So I'm like, listen, all in all, though, I would love this handheld to have. I would love for it to. First of all, I like the design, but I hope that this is just like the prototype. Remember when they first announced the PS4 and there were those boomerang controllers that weren't real, but they just threw something out there to announce it with whatever. I hope that this isn't the final look for this product. I know it's supposed to be like the PlayStation thing or whatever, but like I know they're probably gonna sell other versions. They're probably gonna sell like a PS1 controllers, you know. That's how they're gonna do it. That's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna sell like PS1. Well, actually, well, all the controls have been the same. Okay, like all the controls have been the same. Like, so PS1 probably is gonna get one, but I would hope that this shit is a real handheld because I love my Switch and I want to buy a Steam Deck. And in order for me to add this to it, I would have to be like, yo, let me get some digital shit. I'll buy the games I always wanted to play, like the RPGs, like Tales of Arise, and that other RPG that was just shown. And I would just love to be able to play that shit on the go. Let it be on the go. Leave me alone. Shit like that. I just want to be left to my own devices while playing RPGs. Because certain RPGs should be handheld and whatever. Although this is gonna have to take a lot of lessons from what the Steam Deck did, and like the other ones, because the main things that are gonna be like people's questions are like battery power and what heatsink it's gonna have. Because if that shit is gonna heat up and be like burning your fingers while you're playing it, that's not a good look. I don't want to have hot fingers and smelling sausage while I'm fucking gaming, and I'm like, that smells good. Oh wait, that's me. Sorry, but I think they could definitely. I think Sony should look at what the Steam Deck and what the Asus ROG are doing, and then just try to look at it from that perspective and be like, okay, guys, we gotta make sure I have a good heatsink, make sure that and honestly, and this is the one big thing that they're both doing, like if this is the first one that's coming out, I would prioritize 60 frames per second and 720p. Because honestly, most things the 1080 are I mean it's cool, but it's a handheld. I don't need to look at something that's 4K or 1080p. Like frame rate is more important than graphics, in my opinion. That's just me, but 60 FPS 720 until they figure out ways to make it look better or whatever. But lock it at that at launch. Because in that way you can look at it, look at the feedback, and then maybe try and make like another one or like do an update where you can be like, oh well, here's 1080 and here's all this shit. But I think that would just be a better way for y'all to launch it. Like the more questions and more things that you help people with, the better. In this kind of thing, like lock it at 60 frames per second and 720p for this Sony handheld thing. Yeah, no, yeah, like if you want me to play my PS5 games on this handheld, because first of all, I'm not one of those people that wants to be playing 4K shit 1080p on my fucking handheld. I play that shit on my television, but on the handheld, I'm fine with 720p 60 frames. I'm totally fine with that because if I wanted to play better graphics, I just played on the television. Like yeah, yeah. I'm like, listen, this is a handheld. This is not a console for the television. I just wanted to be able to have a locked frame rate because I would rather play a game 60 frames, 720 versus having to blind myself or like I said before, having to burn my fingers because the fucking heatsink isn't good. That shit gonna need heatsink because if people gonna be demanding that shit to be like 1080p whatever, that's gonna run hot. Like that is going to run hot as fuck. And I'm just gonna throw out a guess. I'm gonna say this because this shit, huh? Yeah, I was gonna say 600 to 800, depending on how they market it. Because if they're gonna say no, oh yeah, oh what, that's true. Because they would have a lot of nerve if it was more than the PS5 that people still can't get apparently. I mean, it's better than the first couple months. Oh, they can? Okay. Like, but I would say 600. I would say they would have to market it as a handheld and not as a stay-at-home thing where you have to be at home with it. And then we'll be good. Whether or not they make games unique for it is still up in the air. I feel like if they just do that thing where they release a game on the PS5, then they release it on this thing and you can play it on this, that's fine. But then this handheld would have to have its own set of uh, graphics capabilities and power capabilities in order for it to play these games. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna risk this shit overheating and exploding in my pocket to play a game at 1080p or 4K. I yeah. Facts. How dare we not have vibranium to where we can fucking how dare we How dare we not have a thing in our pockets to where we can watch things in 4K? And it's like, do we really need to watch things in 4K though? Like, do we now? Like, I don't think that's important. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to watch anything in 4K on my phone. No, facts. And then there's a fucking, and then it's like, why does it smell so smoky in here? Oh my god, that's my that's my handheld. Like, it happens to everybody. You're lying if you're lying if you say you don't sleep with your fucking handheld in your hand playing the game. You got that. You got that enthralled in the game. It happens to all of us. Don't lie. Lying is not a good shade because everybody's falling with a controller in their hand as well. Like, we've all fallen asleep gaming with the controller in our hands and the handheld in our hands. But I would say this shit is gonna be like 600, and I'm hoping that it's all the things I said before because that'd be really fucking cool. Because this intrigues the fuck out of me. Because there are so many games I'd want to play, like RPGs and shit, but I would want to play them on the go. And I'd be like, yo, Sony, put this on Switch. Put this on Switch, my guy. Or when the Steam Decks and the whatevers have been out long enough, and they can sum up a PS5 games on that shit, which I don't think they will, but they won't. But hey, Cicada, and yeah, I'm intrigued by this. I hope it's a real handheld, not a stay at home with it handheld, because then I'll just be like, what's the point? Like, but we'll see. Let's mark this shit.